Good evening.
Good evening. Last time you told me to start with the easy questions.
That is right.
And so the easy question is the collective of the power of 10. How you said at one point that you were perhaps the leader or the spokesperson. How does that work?
We are a collective of 10. Miyagana is the one who coordinates, the one who gains the stream of energy that reaches down to. We all no longer have bodies. We are beyond the physical, as we have mentioned before. However, there is always a place of hierarchy. Miyagana chose to have us come together as we are all of a similar frequency. It is easy for us to amplify our powers together. We all represent different aspects of the collective unconscious. And Miyagana makes sure that we all vibrate at the same high level and that we choose who to come through based on the evidence of their clarity.
So, like Udicity is speaking of ebb and flow, every other one will speak to us on a different topic?
When the divine timing is right. Sometimes Udicity will speak when the time is right. We may not get to all 10. It, as you say, depends.
Will we be sharing these initial recordings with the world, or will we start sharing after the 10th conversation?
You are very impatient. We will tell you when you get to number 10. Okay. How does that sound?
That sounds fine. You know I'm curious.
We are still getting used to the vibration of and using her body to emit our mission and messages. Your curiosity is welcomed and is part and parcel of the reason we chose the both of you. Therefore, it is a good thing. Do not apologize. You are just getting ahead of yourselves.
What are what we call angels and spirit guides here and everybody seems to have a different opinion about what they really are?
That is a very good question. What you call angels are very high vibrational creatures. They are like us in that they are non-physical entities. At the same time, they have never been born and never recycled in each incarnation. Spirit guides are somewhat higher in frequency as they have gone in and out of the incarnations. They sometimes think they will join us and then they choose to come back. There are certain lessons that they can only learn through suffering, or they perhaps choose to have certain creature comforts. They are like us in their mission to teach. However, they come back for a specific soul because they know their soul in their entirety. They have been with them. Perhaps they love them. They want to see them succeed. And it is their sincere hope that at some point the person will recognize them and remember who they are and ask for their assistance out loud, because it is a violation of free will for them to surpass the person's free will. And so they must ask, and it is their hope that they remember. We, as the collective, have chosen the trajectory straight out of the recycling. and are beyond that. So while we have the same vibratory level as the angels, we are not the same. We enjoy conversing with them, and it is our great joy to meet with them often.
Thank you. The other day when you said that pets were a way to raise one's vibration and that feeling that love that is pure and unconditional, is that the reason that the animals are here with us on Earth?
You are all here, or I shall say, you are all here to raise your vibrational frequency, to rise up, all of you, every single creature on Earth. You are here to enjoy the process, to love unconditionally, as that is the truth of your being. Animals, humans, no difference. They just are not in their mind like you are. This is Miagna speaking. I chose to come through because I have a fondness for animals. They too choose to go beyond body and become our precious friends. They are with us in spirit as well. That is what you call your spirit animals. You are familiar with that term?
I am not, but there are probably many who are.
That is how I would define it. They are simply spirit, animals, souls, moving on into spirit, guiding us and comforting us and not overthinking.
It's ironic that there's so much information to absorb, and one of the most important things is to not think too much about it.
It is all about feeling your way into a vibratory state. Your thinking begins the process, like a spark to a flame. However, the feeling leads beyond into the frequency. And the frequency is the most important thing to pay attention to. You may retrace your steps. If you find your vibratory state is not satisfactory, you may trace it backwards. Ask yourself, I am feeling low. What am I feeling? I am feeling not so good. What am I thinking? I am thinking negative thoughts. How can I change this? Then maybe you pet your cat. That is why the pets are higher in their vibratory state. They do not go through those levels. They do not think. They do not feel. They go straight to vibration. You shall do well to mimic your pets.
Thank you. I've not heard that correlation between the thinking and the feeling. That's wonderful. I've enjoyed also telling myself to rise up, and also Eudicine's instructions about taking a moment to allow creativity and an incentive. Not incentive. My mind's blank. I can't think of the word. You probably know what I'm trying to say. Before acting on something, to take that moment to center myself.
Are you speaking of inspiration?
Thank you.
Yes. How is that working for you?
It feels peaceful when there's that moment of feeling like I should or need to be doing something, and then waiting for the inspiration. It's just a feeling of peace and surrender, knowing that it will be the right time.
That is the seedlings of peace. You are starting to notice. That is good. Now, taking it one step further, tracing backwards when you have a vibratory state, and you trace it back to the feeling to, as you say, should do something, need to do something, forcing something to happen. Tracing it back to the thought. What is the thought behind that feeling? Will the world fall apart if you do not act on what you think you need to do at the moment? No. That is ego. As Uditsini points out, take the 5 minutes. That's all you need. Or you take 10 minutes. Or you take 20 minutes. Time is no matter. You take the time until your vibratory state is high. You perhaps listen to music or take a walk outside until you reach a place where you feel high. When you do, it will not feel so necessary. It will feel calm and perhaps even energizing. Whereas just 5 minutes before, you felt compelled to do something. Now it comes from a state of grace. When you have a moment such as this, remember to amplify it times 10. Thus is the power of 10. What does it feel like to traject your emotions in this way? Take that feeling of peace now, and the next time it comes over you, multiply it times 10 and take a snapshot of that memory. That is your high vibratory state, and it is what we are encouraging you to reach.
Okay, I like that.
We do also.
One last question for the evening, because I know I'll speak with you tomorrow. When we spoke before of the concept of oneness in the world and people realizing that's where we needed to be, it's really, isn't it more about not exactly the concept of oneness, but once more people realize the truth about what and who they are, which is pure love, that the oneness is almost a byproduct of that.
Yes and no. Oneness is love. Oneness is what your soul enters into. And once you drop the body, oneness is who you are. It is space. It is space times 10. Everything in the universe is made up of tens. You shall know this when you pass, and you've known it many times, as you are old souls, many of you. If you not have figured it out yet, you will when you pass this incarnation. So something you can do as a tool is to imagine simply unzipping your body, imagining all the skin dropping to the ground. Your soul steps out of the body. What is it now? It is oneness with all that is. That is who you are. There is no denying this. You may take that soul and multiply it. It is time to traject. You are taking too long. You insist on recycling again and again, and you were never meant to do it that many times. It is like repeating the same grade in your schooling education. At some point, you need to graduate and move into the real world, which is that of spirit and space, beyond time, beyond recycling, beyond incarnations, beyond. That is a place where we are, where we exist together. Sometimes we focus to get across certain ideas, certain aspects of the collective unconscious. That is why we speak in singular terms. We are more powerful together, as are you. Someday you will know this, hopefully sooner rather than later. That is why we come to you now. You are at the very beginnings of this knowledge, and it is time to multiply it. Utilize the law of attraction, not just to gather material things which will never give you true lasting joy. They are only trinkets and temporary pleasures. Beyond this is so much more. So start by unzipping your body. Let it drop to the floor. Who is that? Start with that question. Who are you without the body? Perhaps write this down. Who are you? And can you take that feeling and multiply it times 10? What does that feel like? What vibration are you when you multiply you without the body times 10? Practice this week. It is fun. Make it light. Make it fun. You will feel better just by doing this process. Think of it as a game.
Thank you.
Of course.
I think that it would be fun to dream about that all night.
You may do that, and you may live it as well.
Yes.
Dreaming is a part of your consciousness. It is your subconsciousness. You are relaxed when you sleep, and you may choose to be equally relaxed when you are awake. At some point, you will know no difference.
Thank you again.
Always. We are trying to open his eyes. We wish to look around the room. Is fighting us. Please tell her not to resist. We shall not harm her in any way. We simply hope to use her vehicle to look around the room.
Baby, it's okay to let them look around the room.
That is enough for now. She may rest. Thank you.
Thank you. We'll talk soon.
Yes. Good evening.